Have you ever noticed how everyone loves talking about being strong? Be strong, don't give up, hang in there, stay tough. Sounds like a slogan, but honestly, being strong is kind of overrated. I mean, you were born a helpless little baby, became a playful kid, and then suddenly you're expected to face the world and be strong? My point is, that's not human nature. And even when some people appear to be strong, they're often just hiding behind a shell, whether it's physical or emotional. They don't actually learn anything by isolating themselves inside that thick shell, and they just end up turning into brutes, like walking rocks. On the other hand, you've got the fragile ones, that friend who complains about life over the tiniest thing. The kind of person who can't handle anything uncomfortable, so they try to avoid anything that might shake them. They're like a glass cup. One little knock and they shatter. But here's the thing, humans do have fragilities, right? So it's impossible to be strong all the time. That's an illusion. But at the same time, we can't go through life being fragile forever. We have to learn to handle adversity. Unless, of course, you're the child of someone super rich. And even then, you'll still face emotional and physical vulnerabilities. But there's another path? Actually, this other path is the true nature of human beings. That nature is to be anti-fragile. Think about it. When you hit the gym and train your biceps, what are you really doing? You're not actually getting stronger in that moment. You're literally destroying your muscle. Every rep causes micro tears in the fibers. You're basically damaging your own arm on purpose. If it were something fragile, like a glass cup, it would have shattered on the first lift. If it were just robust, like a brick, it could handle the weight, but it wouldn't change at all. But because it's anti-fragile, the muscle takes that destruction as a signal. All right, if he's going to torture me like this again tomorrow, I'd better rebuild even stronger. And that's exactly what happens. You rest, eat, give your body time to recover, and the bicep comes back bigger and more resistant. In other words, you only grew because you went through stress. Without the load, without the chaos, you'd stay exactly the same. That's the perfect example of what it means to be anti-fragile. Chaos doesn't break you. It makes you stronger. See how your true nature is anti-fragility? Want another example? When you learn something new, what happens is basically a process of neuroplasticity. Your brain is made of billions of neurons, and every time you're exposed to a new piece of information or skill, those neurons need to create or reinforce connections between themselves. It goes like this. At first, when you try something for the first time, the path between neurons is weak, slow, inefficient. That's why you get stuck, forget quickly, or find it difficult. But as you repeat and practice, that path gets reinforced. The synapses become more efficient, new connections are formed, and even the amount of chemical messengers, neurotransmitters, increases. Over time, this network solidifies. The task that once felt impossible becomes automatic. It's like your brain built a brand new road. The anti-fragile detail is this. The initial cognitive stress, that my brain is melting feeling, is the trigger that makes the brain reorganize and come back better. No challenge, no adaptation. That's why people say the brain is anti-fragile too. It needs difficulty to grow, not endless comfort. The same goes for your immune system. When you catch a mild virus or come into contact with random bacteria, your body doesn't just deal with it, it learns from it. It builds memory, develops antibodies, and the next time, it reacts way faster. In other words, exposure to chaos makes you more prepared. If the immune system were fragile, every cold would wipe you out. But because it's anti-fragile, each basic flu is like free training for your internal army. Kind of like in a game. You keep getting wrecked by bosses until suddenly you realize you've gotten really good. That's what they mean by anti-fragile. It's not about resisting or breaking, it's about using every hit as fuel. Imagine if every problem you face came with experience points, like in an RPG. You take the hit, lose some HP, but when you come back, you're more resilient, sharper, with a new skill unlocked. That's anti-fragility. See how the human nature is anti-fragile? And that kind of changes how we see the world, doesn't it? Because instead of being fragile people trying to act tough, we should accept that we start from a fragile place. But we're wired to be anti-fragile. We're born with the ability to improve through chaos. The real enemy isn't the problems. It's your desperate attempt to avoid them. Look around. Everyone's chasing comfort, safety, stability. And don't get me wrong, comfort is great until it becomes a cage. If you spend your life trying to eliminate every bit of stress, every risk, every bump in the road, guess what? You get weaker. You become the muscle that's never used, the brain that's never tested, the immunity that's never challenged. You start to wither in parts of life. You stop learning, and those who don't learn will always depend on those who do. The irony is, every time you run away from discomfort, you're actually running away from the very process that would have made you more prepared. So it's not chaos that breaks you. It's endless comfort that makes you breakable. So when something goes wrong, when life punches you in the face, instead of thinking, why me? The real question should be, how can I come out of this better? Because that's the rule of the game. You grow because you get hit. Alright, but what does this mean in practice? What does it look like to live as someone anti-fragile instead of someone fragile pretending to be strong? It means that when you get rejected, it's not the end of the world. It's just social XP. You learn, adjust, build thicker skin. Fragile is swearing to never talk to anyone again because it hurt too much. Anti-fragile is getting back in the game with more confidence because now you know what went wrong. It means that when you fail at a project, it doesn't define you. It's just the beta test of your life. You find the bugs, fix them, and release a better version. Fragile is deleting everything and disappearing. Anti-fragile is using failure as fuel. It also means that when the unexpected hits, the classic life didn't go as planned, you don't just sit on the curb and cry. You reroute. Fragile is freezing up because the GPS is recalculating. Anti-fragile is finding paths you'd never have discovered if everything had worked out. In the end, applying this in real life is simple. Don't avoid discomfort. Don't run from rejection. Don't worship the easy path. Because every time you choose the shortcut of comfort, you get weaker. And every time you face the chaos head on, you come back stronger. It's basically life saying, either you get hit and evolve, or hide and stay fragile forever. In the end, being anti-fragile isn't a hard philosophy to understand. The hard part is accepting that life won't stop hitting you just because you asked nicely. There's no easy mode button, and that's okay. Because every punch, every rejection, every failure, every setback, all of it could be a disguised upgrade. It's like life is that sadistic personal trainer yelling in your ear while you're dying on your last rep. Come on, you've got more in you. In the moment, you curse them out, swear you'll never come back, but the next day, you realize you're stronger. So, once you truly understand that your nature is anti-fragile, chaos stops being a threat. It becomes a tool, it becomes life's gym, beta test, training ground. The question is simple. You can keep pretending you're made of glass and hope no one bumps into you, or you can own what you are and turn every hit into fuel. Because in the end, being anti-fragile isn't just about enduring. It's about secretly thanking the world every time it tries to knock you down. Because without realizing it, it's only making you unbreakable.